Hey, it's Carrie Smith. I run a company called Soar with Eagles. And recently I had a number of people ask me questions about being a speaker and how to make money speaking. Soar with Eagles has long been a company that either booked speakers or we provided marketing and branding services for speakers, such as one sheets and book publishing. So I've been active in the industry for over a decade, been a member of National Speakers Association at one time, and also was on the board at National Speakers Association of Oklahoma, which is a state chapter. So I've had a chance to really study the business models of speakers at all levels in their business and with all kinds of business models too. There's no one right or wrong answer. So the people that asked me about this were people who were running their own business and they were speaking as part of a marketing strategy for their business. So currently they're probably speaking for free and really do need to make this a revenue stream for themselves if they can. And so they asked me some questions and I wanted to answer those in a pretty quick video if I could. So the first one is how do I go from volunteer to paid, or as I like to call it, from free to fee? This is a really hard question, and I think the first thing that you have to ask yourself is do you really need to make money from speaking, or would you be better suited to speak as part of marketing strategy? Continue that. And the reason I ask this is for a speaker who is kind of new to the business, they have to speak for free and for very little money for a really long time. For people who are professional speakers, what you see is them hitting it hard for about 5 years, and then they start to see them getting some good fees, and then it really escalates from that, because if they're getting to the place where they are booked a lot, they're able to ask for more money, and they're in front of more audiences, which creates more people who see them and go, hey, would you like to be at my meeting? Now, for the standard business owner, that's not really a reality. So they already have some revenue streams that are part of their business, and so what they may do instead is to speak at, say, a breakout session. If you have a conference coming into town and you have a topic that fits that conference's audience, then you may find that you might be able to speak at a breakout session. Now, a lot of breakout sessions at association meetings don't pay anything. Same thing when you're speaking for the Chamber of Commerce. And what they're doing is they're offering you exposure, but I can tell you, like anybody else, you can die of exposure. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get any spin-off business. But the nice thing about speaking at these kind of venues, if you're in front of the right audience and they potentially have a need for your product or service, then it can make a big difference in how much business comes in your door. So I just want you to think about that a little bit too. You know, if you're speaking to a group of homeschool moms on organization skills for your home, for instance. Now, they're going to learn some things that they're going to be able to use themselves, but what you might find is that there'll be one or two that go, oh my gosh, I need to do this, but I just can't get to it. So 3 or 4 months down the road, they may call you. They may be there and have that need now and go, wow, this is too much trouble, and it is really not that expensive to call her. I'm going to go ahead and, make that phone call and hire that person that spoke at that breakout session. So it just kind of depends. For people who are wanting to learn more about putting information out there, maybe their expertise is saleable. Google information marketing and start reading some articles and content that is on the website or on the internet now, so that you can start studying up on what some of the greatest people in the business do with information marketing. You may have a class or something or a webinar that you would like to share. And what you'll see with information marketing is they will have, like, here's an introductory class on this topic. And so they might be giving you this free video or this free webinar, but they have some other services that they do charge for. And I think that's a great business model if you have the kind of information out there that you'd like to have. If you are a blogger, and I recommend writing as much as you can, because if you speak, you must write. That's one thing that I've learned working in the speaking industry. And so most speakers really struggle with writing that first book. And so I suggest to them that they blog. It's really easy to go to something like blogger.com, set up your first blog, and get out there and just start writing about things. Now, I suggest whenever you speak or you write, talk to the audience that you've earned the right to speak to on the topic that you've earned the right to speak on. Sometimes speakers go, well, I really want to do this other thing, and I'm really interested in this other topic area over here. And if you watch them in their career long enough, they end up circling back around to the topic they've earned the right to speak on, to the audience that they've earned the right to speak to. Now, this is an easier lesson for a business owner, because what you're doing is you want to share some of that information. If you network, you go to networking events, you may give your 60-second commercial. That's 60 seconds of content. Now, if you think about that, you can't give everything you know in 60 seconds of content, right? Well, it's the same thing when you are speaking to an audience. You may be doing an informational seminar at the Chamber of Commerce, or have maybe scheduled your own little event and it's an hour long. Well, you obviously know much more about that topic because that's your business than just what you can put in an hour. And so blogging and writing books and white papers and informational pieces like that really give you a chance to share that information. And the nice thing about the written word, or even short video segments, is that you can trickle them out over a period of time. And what it does is it gives you something to post on your blog, it gives you something to post on Facebook, and people are interested in you, but they may not be on Facebook, or maybe not paying attention that week because they're on vacation, or they've had a death in the family, or something like that. So you want to create content that you can deliver over a period of time. But like I said, if you want more information on information marketing, Google that topic and start reading articles on it. I think you'll find a lot of ways to put information out there for your business. So sometimes people ask, what do I charge? Now, when I'm talking to a professional speaker who's maybe new to the business and they are in the corporate world, I suggest to them that they take their what they make in a day, divide that by, I'd say, 8 hours. Some people work more than that in a regular business day. But figure out what that hourly fee is. And then when you start to back up from that, then you are going to take that and maybe do it times 8 or times 4, depending on your topic. And I say times 8 or times 4 for a keynote fee. I mean, that'd be great if you could make your full day fee for a 45-minute keynote, right? Well, the reality is, if you are getting on a plane and traveling somewhere, you're obviously going to come in the day before, and so you lose like a half a day, a work day, the day before the event when you're traveling in, and then you've got the day that you're at the event, and you're going to have that whole day. You'll probably come back on a plane that day, so there's a day and a half, and then you've got all that preparation that goes into a keynote. Now, most speakers don't speak on a ton of different topics. They narrow that down as time goes by, and so what they will do is, speak on the same topic to multiple events. But you still have that preparation that goes into that. So you might take your 2 days, in this case, for I call it the get on a plane fee, to take that and times 2 days. What do you make in 2 days? And that's your keynote fee. Now, anybody who's speaking at an expertise level but maybe not super experienced and nobody knows who you are, say you make $500 a day. Well, your entry level fee for speaking on your topic of expertise might be $1,000. Now, you'll see people evolve from that. So let's go back over that equation again. What you make in 8 hours times your hour. So if you're making, in 2 days you make $1,000 normally going into work for your job, then that's what you charge for your 45-minute keynote. Now, that is what I call it the get on the plane fee. A lot of people will have a local fee where they don't have to pack a bag, they don't have to travel, they may drive in that day, or it's right in town, which would be wonderful. That's not the reality for Northwest Arkansas where I live. There's hardly any speaking engagements that you would make money speaking for here. So the reality is that I might go travel out of town to one of the cities in the, say, 3.5 hour radius. That's kind of where my local fee radius is. And that would be get me into Oklahoma City, Kansas City, and Little Rock, and as well as Tulsa. So that would be something that, and it's typical to see a local fee at 50%. Now, for people who are speaking to a nonprofit or a charity, that fee would be also 50% typically of your normal fee. Now, some people will, even divide that by that, but pretty much 50% is kind of what you see speakers do across the board. As far as your local radius, I think that you just really have to look at that. For most people in the industry, they'll say it's 2 hours, but for me, I live in an area that isn't really 2 hours away from too many metro cities. So I stretch mine out to 3.5 hours to give me more variety. So you go back to, well, what do I charge? The reality is that you have to speak for free a lot before you can start making money doing it. And the more you speak, the more skilled that you get. So that's such a hard reason. I think for business owners, we have to go back and ask ourselves, how do I make money with this information that I'm about to put out? Does it matter that I speak for free if it gets me in front of more audiences of my target client for whatever it is that I do for a living? And you'll see a lot of experts, people who speak in the human resources industry or anything legal, very high technology kind of topics, high expertise topics. You'll see them speak for free because they know that that's going to showcase their expertise and draw more people to them. So obviously there's a place where you have to go, well, am I good enough to be a speaker? Well, I think that I sat through enough high content presentations to say if your content's really good, people are going to forgive you for your speaking skills a little bit. But don't let that be an excuse. Get into something like Toastmasters when you can. You can go out to toastmasters.org, find a club near you, and check out several clubs because the chemistry in each club is really dependent on who the membership is right now. So check out your local clubs. It's not expensive. My club is $40 every 6 months, and it's nice because they give you a couple of books to get you started in both the leadership and the communication skills track. But then after that, you complete those books, and then you can start customizing your Toastmasters experience on how it fits your business. And they give you guidelines for what kind of skill you're working on, not what your topic is. So that gives you a chance to be able to say, I want to work on this presentation, or you may build your presentation out of a series of 5 to 7 minute speeches. You take 3 or 4 of those and you've got a breakout session topic. And so if you're using those assignments to build your content for something that you're going to speak at for a conference or even your own program that you're scheduling, then that's a great use of your time right there. One person asked me about speaking at events versus scheduling your own events. I would tell you today that with YouTube and Facebook event setups and some of the other programs that we have available to schedule our own events and invite people via social media, I don't necessarily think you have to wait for your Businesswomen's Conference to give you the opportunity to speak for free in front of their audience, or your Chamber of Commerce to go, yeah, let's have you come in and we'll put you in our newsletter and people will show up for your information. I think today that if you're going to speak for free, you may as well make that an opportunity for you to put that on your Facebook page and to share it with other people and showcase your expertise. Because people can share that. The thing about a Chamber of Commerce, free commercial class is that only the people that are going to see that are the people that are sitting in the room. Unless, of course, you videotape it, and then you can share that later. And in most cases, I don't think anybody has any problem with the speaker doing that. I mean, you're speaking for free. What are they going to do? Fire you? So maybe I'm kind of cavalier about that. But be sure and ask, but find ways to videotape that event and share it in other means. And so it'll use your time a little more wisely and allow you to share that same information in a variety of means. I love the fact that I can sit here with a video camera in front of me in my kitchen and talk to you, but being in front of a live audience really brings up your energy level, and you're standing, and that's going to bring up your energy level, and you're going to be more likely to use your arms and everything. So I'm a fan of speaking in front of human beings every chance you get. Now, some people are a little intimidated by speaking to a video camera, and I will tell you that I still find it a little bit intimidating. There's a lot to know about it, but the sooner you start practicing and get used to it, the better you will be. It's like anything else. The more you speak, the more you use a video camera, the more you talk in an audio recorder, the more you blog, the more you write, the better off you get. You're not going to love the first time you see it. You know, it's kind of like some people go, oh, I hate my picture taken. Oh, I hate looking at a video camera. Well, I would just like to encourage you to get started as soon as you can. And just like sitting in a class with a speaker that maybe isn't super exciting to listen to, but their content is really, really good, you have a lot of expertise to offer the people who will sit and listen to you. I just want to encourage you, don't wait till you finish your master's degree in whatever topic that is, or your bachelor's degree, or your PhD, or you get this certification or that certification. You can build your expertise now. You don't have to wait for some certifying organization to tell you that you're an expert. You can build your expertise by simply reading 30 minutes a day on your topic of expertise. And I mean, in a year, you'll know more than 90% of the people out there about that topic. There's some people that you might recognize doing information marketing and using video and speaking to push forward their business model. One of my favorites to talk about, though, is Patty Brushfit. Patty Brush is a personal trainer and a coach, and what you can do is just type in the little Facebook search field, Patty Brushfit. I love what she's doing with video. I love how she shares her content. She's using blogging as well, and she shows you just how easy it is. It's not fancy. She does some fun things with video, but her deal is fitness, and so she talks about that. But she also talks about her personal challenges and cooking and other things that she likes. And so I think she's got a really great business model to learn from. When you start looking at other people's business models that are using social media and video and audio and Twitter and Periscope, that's the new thing where you can broadcast live with Periscope. It gives you a chance to look at what they're doing and ask yourself, how can I apply this to my business model? Now, obviously, I spent thousands of dollars learning all of this information, and over a period of 10 to 12 years, and there's much more that I could teach you, but I wanted to answer those questions and gear them really toward the business owner. I will be doing a seminar hopefully in the next few weeks called So You Want to Be a Speaker, and I'll go much more in depth on what professional speakers do, but that'll give you a chance to sort of be in the room and ask questions, and we can also answer some more questions that are more specific to the business owner who wants to sort of develop their business model a little bit more to utilize their expertise and showcase it using video and blogging and other things like that. So again, let's go back and talk about, just to recap, where you find speaking engagements, and is it realistic for you to expect to be hired and to be paid. I think today there's no reason for a business owner to have to wait to have an invitation to speak at a breakout session at their local businesswomen's conference or at their chamber of commerce. I think today with tools like Evite and the Facebook event and your own social media page for your business, I think you can plan your own events and you can put the information out there. If you do it in the proper way, then people will share that invitation with people that they know would be interested in that. If you want to monetize it, charge a small fee. Pass the hat for a donation. I know some people that do all of their training fees now as a donation. However much that person sitting in the audience felt like it was valuable to them. And for me, for a lot of topics that I speak about, I don't want money to get in the way. If somebody, has the means to pay a little bit more, then maybe they can donate a little bit more. If you've got somebody that really needs the information but can't afford that, I think that's totally okay. In the big scheme of things that, will be taken care of, and, having our information in front of people who can hire us is really, really a big deal. Experiment with video. Try out Periscope, which is live broadcast. Blog. Do those things that you need to sort of build your audience, because that's the whole thing. You're not just building your audience, you're also building your target client base. And if eventually they're going to have a need to pay for your product or service. And the nice thing about social media and putting out content there on a regular basis in some form is that it allows you to sort of drip on the stone. They may not have a need for your product or service today, but they could have a need for it later. So I would encourage you to think outside the box just a little bit. It's not just a speaking engagement. It's about how do I repackage my content different ways so that people can use it. All right, I hope I answered your questions. I hope to have a class here pretty soon and be able to share some more information about the business of speaking as well, because there's a lot to know about the business, and there are some people that really is a viable future business model for them. If you have any questions, you can call me at 479-903-0208. That is my business phone. My email address is Carrie, Carrie, at soarhire.com. I hope this was beneficial for you today, and I hope to see you soon.